stories, the three-time world champion is the Peter Pan of snooker.
He turned pro in 1992. In his first few years on the tour, he won 3 ranking titles and made his way into the top 16. But he had to wait until 1998 to make his first unforgettable impact on the game.
Particularly unforgettable for me, I was 9-6 up against him in the final of the Masters, but he fought back to square the match and take it to a black ball decider.
In 2000, he won the World Championship for the first time, beating fellow Welshman Matthew Stevens in the final. That victory propelled him to the top of the world rankings.
In 2002-2003, he became only the 3rd player to win the Triple Crown, the World Title, Masters and UK Championship in the same season. Modesty prevents Steve or me from saying who the other 2 were.
He seemed to have the world at his feet, but then began more than a decade of massive form fluctuations as he alternated between being the best player in the world and struggling to stay in the top 16.
His game had deserted him and he was talking of retirement. Mark is my best friend in the snooker circuit and I know he was hurting badly. But beneath the laid-back exterior, he's a fighter, and that's what he did.
Last season, with a new coach and a new attitude, he won 2 ranking titles after a 6-year drought. But even so, when he arrived in Sheffield, he was the choice of romantics rather than realists.
But sporting fairy tales do sometimes come true, and after a nail-biting semi-final against Barry Hawkins and a dramatic final win over John Higgins, he lifted that famous trophy for the 3rd time, 15 years after his last victory.
Well, it's an amazing story, isn't it, how he sort of got himself back into a position to win the World Championship. And we knew how badly he felt he was playing.
Well, I mean, to think about retirement just proves that you're sick of it. You've had enough of playing that substandard snooker. Because when you've been world champion, we all know how good Mark Williams is. So he must have been at rock bottom to think about retiring. But what a story. He's won 2 ranking tournaments and then the World Championship.
As we mentioned, new coach, new attitude. How long do you think he can keep this going? Because it was fresh at the time, but he's got to keep on doing it year after year again now.
Yeah, it's how greedy he wants. We always talk about how laid back he is, and he always says that I don't care. You know, if I never win another match, it doesn't matter. But when you're a competitive animal, as Mark Williams obviously is, yeah, has he got the will to keep practicing, to keep applying himself, to get better and win more titles? How hungry is he?